Hi everybody, it's Liz from the library, and I'm going to be showing you how to make mummies from apples. We are going to experiment with different techniques and different substances to see what makes the best apple mummy. And what I really love about this experiment and what I think is really cool is that actually this is what the ancient Egyptians did. So over thousands of years, they were experimenting with making mummies, using different techniques, using different substances, and then digging up bodies and seeing how well it worked. So when you think about Egyptian mummies, they actually represent all sorts of different ways of mummifying a human body. So we are actually doing something very similar to what the ancient Egyptians actually did, except no human bodies. So I'm going to start out. I have 3 apples, and you can use as many apples as you want and try as many different types of mummification as you want, but I have 3 apples, and I am going to start by cutting them all in half. What we are going to do is create some apples that have no peel, some apples that have a peel. We are going to put some in baking soda, some in salt, and we're gonna wrap some in gauze. And it's gonna be all up to you what you wanna try. But I definitely wanna make sure, no matter what, absolutely, that I take 1 apple slice, 1/2 apple, and I leave it alone. I do nothing. That is called our control. That is how we see the difference between what would happen to an apple if we just left it alone, did nothing, versus all the different things that we're gonna try. So it's a really important part of our experiment. So I'm gonna take this one and just, but first, with all of our apples, we are going to make a little mummy face, just for fun. So I'm gonna just take this little knife and I'm gonna cut out 2 eyes. You do not need to be an apple carving artist. I am not, as you will soon see. I'm going to give it a little nose and a mouth. But I promise you, in the end, it's going to look so much cooler if it has a little face, okay? It's already a little spooky. But I am going to put that to the side. And then I'm going to take some apples and I'm going to peel off the outside. Now I'm just going to cut faces into all of my apples. Ooh. Nice face. Okay. So now I have 6 options, but one of them, remember, is my control. So we're not going to do anything to it. We're just going to stick it in one of our bags, ready to go. So that one is done. Now let's look at what options we have. One option is to cover something in gauze and see what that kind of extra level of protection is going to do. As we know, Egyptian mummies were covered in wrappings. So that's interesting to look at. We also are going to try 2 different chemical substances. One is salt and the other is baking soda. And these have very different names, but actually they're very closely related. Salt is sodium and baking soda is sodium carbonate. So these are actually very similar, and we're going to see which one is closer to what the Egyptians ended up using, which is called natron. So I would really like to try one just with salt and one just with baking soda and see how that works out. As you know from cooking, if you put salt on something that has a lot of water in it, it tends to bring out the water. So if you were to put salt on a whole bunch of tomatoes, you'd see, and actually it's especially fun if you use eggplant or zucchini. If you put salt on it and just leave it out, what you're going to see is the water coming out of the vegetable. So that's what we want, right? We want to pull all of the liquid that tends to make things decompose out of the body, or in this case, our apple. And we also know baking soda has all these other properties too, right? We use it in our baking because when it connects with acid, it kind of creates this bubbling effect, right? It's a leavening agent when we're baking. It's the thing that makes our muffin or cake or whatever we're making get bigger in the oven. We also use it in a bunch of cleaning products. It's even in toothpaste. So it has a whole bunch of qualities, and we're going to see how those work out. So I'm going to take one apple, and I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to take my salt, and I'm just going to cover this thing in salt. Just completely cover it. Whoa. Okay. And I'm going to close this up nice and tight. Make sure I get the salt all over that thing, right? And stick its face as much into the salt as I possibly can. So it's kind of like sitting in the salt, if that makes sense. And I'm going to remember to keep track of what I have put in each bag. So on this bag, I'm going to put salt. And on my control, I'm going to make sure to put control. Boom. All right, and I definitely want to try one with gauze because I think it's going to look so cool. So I'm going to cut my little piece here. And I'm just going to wrap it around, because what if what really made a mummy was the gauze and not the natron that the Egyptians used. So here's my apple all wrapped in gauze. It already looks a bit like a mummy, which is cool. So I'm going to take another bag, put in my gauze wrapped mummy. Make it nice and tightly sealed. And I'm going to put gauze. All right. Now I want to try one like this without the peel. And this time I'm going to use baking soda. Get it all good and covered. And I'm going to try one that is gauze and baking soda. And for the last one, and I would suggest that you definitely do one that is like this, I am going to use half salt, half baking soda. So now it's all about waiting. I need to find a tomb to keep them in. You want to keep them in a dark, cool, dry place. I'm going to use my kid's diaper box, but any place where no one will mistake it for something good to eat and will leave it alone is fine. And I'm going to put all of them inside, all marked and ready to go. Make sure that they are face down. And that is it. I have my tomb with my 6 mummies, and we're going to give them time and see which one works the best. I'll see you then. Bye.